Hi, I'm Scott.
And I'm Jose.
And you're watching the first episode of Floyd's Corner. In today's episode, we'll be covering stabilizer, also known as cyanuric acid. Stabilizer is found in two main forms, liquid and granular, but it is also included in chlorine tablets and some forms of shock. Stabilizer is used to help protect chlorine from being burned off by the sun's rays. In a pool with no stabilizer, the chlorine is burned off almost instantly by the sun's rays, no matter what the amount of chlorine in the water is. The sole purpose of stabilizer is to keep your pool clean and clear for longer while using less chlorine. Stabilizer is normally kept at levels of 70 to 75 parts per million in a saltwater pool, or under 50 in a pool that uses chlorine tabs as its main form of chlorination. It is important to note that if stabilizer gets too high, it can cause increased risk of algae growth even though the chlorine levels in the water are testing okay. This is known as chlorine lock, and chlorine lock occurs when there is too much stabilizer in the water, which binds up with the chlorine, preventing it from doing its job of killing algae. The only way to remedy this situation is to drain and fill the pool. And now, I'm going to pass it off to Jose, who's going to tell you a little bit about how to add stabilizer to your pool.
Thanks, Scott. Now, adding stabilizer to your pool can be a bit tricky, but if you follow my guidelines closely, it should be a breeze. To do so, go over to your skimmer, and once you're ready to pour the stabilizer in the skimmer, do so slowly. I stress slowly because stabilizer takes a little bit longer to dissolve than other pool chemicals do. So after you've slowly added the stabilizer to your skimmer, walk over to the pump. If you look into your pump, you should see the stabilizer beads flowing in your pump. That's how you know you've added it correctly. It is important to note that if you're using chlorine tabs in your pool, you don't have to add stabilizer because the chlorine tabs that you're using already contain it. So for those of you who do use chlorine tablets in your pool, it is best to go to your local pool store and get your water tested regularly. Chlorine tablet pools are known to have very, very high levels of stabilizer. So having your water tested regularly will give you a good idea of where you stand. If you're ever seeing parts per million of over 50 for your stabilizer, switch to a non-stabilized form of chlorine, either liquid or granular. If you ever run into over 100 parts per million of stabilizer, drain your pool and refill as needed.
And that's everything you need to know about stabilizer. Be sure to tune in next time for the next episode of
Floyd's Corner.